Cool, brother. All right. All right. Uh, we actually ought to reset Skype because for some reason your video will not come up. I think it's because we had the other call on there, but um, yeah, you might be about to kick up. Let's see. There it is. We're solid. Kinda. Yeah. All right. All right. I mean, you're like, you're coming in, but now you're like pale. We'll see. Yeah. God damn. Oh no, I mean, yeah, and I'm in Pasadena, so he's actually even closer to me than yeah. So yeah, very very close here.
Not whatever for grandpa reasons or whatever. I am going to discourage my kids from having kids. And I've read a lot of recent studies lately, and I think it's just because they're just too selfish. They are. I mean, our generation is definitely pretty damn selfish, but these studies and shit that I've read is like no millennials are having kids. You know what I mean? Like they're like it's been like the most significant drop of our generation for like the past 60 something years. You know what I mean? Like just before the World War II, you know what I mean, is like the like people weren't having kids,
Yeah.
during that, like, hey, we're going to war again. Now's not the time, But
Yeah.
this been like the most significant drop in actual childbirths for, yeah, like well over like 60 years or something is what that study read or whatever.
Holy shit. Yeah, that's drastic. I mean, at
But
least a
but
lot
we
more drastic than I thought.
but we we were talking about, like, and she's like, yeah, yeah, all these fucking kids, and then we kind of went through our high school experiences and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. But it's like that's the world that those kids are living in. You get rejected by a girl, show up and kill her at school. Like that's the response now. Like, and
Yeah.
anybody else that you didn't like. You know what I mean? It
Yeah,
wasn't like
absolutely.
take your licks and give them out when you can, but that's where we are the last, the dying breed of that old school mentality, faced with a, you know, techno dweeb future. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, I mean it's
that,
crazy that I mean, but that's an accurate fucking explanation of it. But I mean, it sucks that that's the case. I mean, it is
no one
very
likes it.
strange looking forward. It's extremely odd. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I always kind of assumed that people would get tougher, and they like it just doesn't seem to be the case. And I think it's funny because right, like I think Stanhope explained it the best, right? Like we're gonna be the first generation to like look back and like these guys are pussies, you know. And it
He used to
really
do
is.
crank off and shit, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I
Now
mean,
a
it's
Red Bull with some pep, and they want you to go out on the patio to have a smoke, you know.
yeah.
Or
No, I mean it's fucking crazy. It's like
it's
people
even,
have gotten. Yeah, it's like, hey, dude, let's give everybody a lot more information and let's have them, you know, use it to make excuses for why they're soft. You know what I mean? It's really strange.
it's just this whole self-important, I'm the only person that fucking matters and we're not part of a society, you know, like,
Yeah.
and it's like, even as a voluntarist, you know what I mean? Even as
Yeah.
a libertarian, you go, yes, we are a part of a society here. We are a part of something, and some people are dickheads, you know, and some people that you run into at the grocery store, out on the road, a lot of them are fucking retards, but
Yeah.
like they belong in the society. They belong here. You just have to deal with fucking stupid people. But what you don't do is act like you're the only person out there. Like, okay, you know, some people are not paying attention for a moment and they have a bad, I have them rarely, but I'm going like, ah, fuck, you know, sorry, man, I didn't see you. You know, you were in the blind spot or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like out there, the road is like the biggest thing about it. And it's a fucking mirror, like abominable fucking actions happen to them out there on the road.
I think it's just weird because everybody, I mean, I feel like people are just intentionally, I don't know. It's weird. It's like people are just pussies and they just are okay with it. And then they make justifications as to why people are supposed to be, why you're supposed to be delicate. You know what I mean? And it's just strange.
Yeah, that's the defining factor for a lot of people, because it's like we take out, when you talk about a lot of these issues and the way that you know, the 20-somethings crowd has emerged and the teenagers, and they say all of this shit, and it's like you really do think like you're the only fucking person that matters in the world. Like you really have like, oh no, you're just wrong, and they want to do something about you being wrong. Like me and you were like, you're an idiot, and I don't fucking care to be around you anymore beyond whatever this interaction is, and fucking good luck to you, dumbass. You know, like that's mentality. Those people's mentality is like, we have to get that person fired. They need to be ejected from society. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like that's their response, where it's like, you are a dying dinosaur breed, sir. Like you have to go, you know, and that's probably the most nice way that anybody would ever.
Yeah.
Hate speech. You see the fangs and their eyes get wide. They get that crazy person stare. That it's you know, you've seen that stare.
Yeah, no, I mean I have, and I've. What's funny is like I've dealt with it even like recently, and it's so strange. Like just I don't know, man. I mean it's an odd fucking deal. Like it's a weird place that we live in.
Well, I'm not like this collectivist guy or anything, but it's like, motherfucker, get with the program. You know what I mean? Like, be an individual and live your life the best and freest as you can possibly do. But motherfucker, you are spending a lot of time on other people. Fuck you, dude. I'm trying to spend time on me, you know, and my people that I take care of. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's also a big part of that kind of culture too, where it's just like, yeah, no, have a kid. Honestly,
Well, I mean,
I don't care.
I've actually watched
But
now people. And my most
stop
recent,
being.
yeah, no, I mean, my most recent like example would be on discussing abortion, and I was doing it today, but it was one of those things like where I've started to notice like people are now intentionally like being willfully ignorant. It's not like a oh well they just haven't looked it up. It's like no, they like avoid looking at information because it's just not what they
It's
want.
contradictory to
Yeah.
what they
It's like I
already
don't
believe.
want that to be the case, so I'm not going to look it up because I don't want that to be true. And you're like, what? Like I
We all have a tinge of that, you know. We all have this. Oh
Oh yeah,
man,
we all have a little bit of it, but I mean,
I
to make it your
wasn't
thing.
right. We all have a bunch of that. Like, oh man, I really wish that wasn't the case, but fuck, you know, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like I don't know. I mean, and especially it's odd to me that people want to, I mean, I felt like people would basically, hey, look, I don't want to yeah, I don't agree with this, or I wish it was, I mean, I wish it was different, but it is this way, so I'll,
This
whatever. You don't have to completely change your mind, but like at least acknowledge what's going on. I mean, but I got into an argument today with like three women who were trying to tell me that at 20 weeks, your kid still doesn't have a fucking a brain, and I was
like
like,
a or anything. Like,
yeah, it's
yeah,
like no, there's no heartbeat, and I was like, dude, there is a heartbeat at like 3.5 weeks. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
yeah, it's like you're fucking, it's like you're just not looking shit up so that you can feel this way.
That's even, that's not even some like pro-religious stance, like pro-right-wing stance that we
Oh no,
have.
dude,
That's
I get
got,
quickly.
here's the
People are like, "Oh, well,
science.
you just, yeah." People are like, "Oh, well, you just want it to be right because you're religious." And I was like, "Dude, I am not religious at all. Like, I don't think you
Right.
understand. Like, no, I'm not. That's just because science says so, you know."
That's
And
another fucking interesting, weird, super weird. And I know that we've tackled it before, but that's another like weird phenomenon, super odd thing that has started to take place over probably, I would say, the last 3 years, where you have this whatever issue, and people are so politically aligned on their sleeve, on their chest. You know what I'm saying? That
yeah,
you can't have an opposing view. You know,
absolutely,
we are
yeah.
very weird, odd breed people where it's
The
like,
only way that you can feel this way is because of religion. You're like, what? Like,
and
that's
you
not
know
the
what?
case.
I would like to think that it's easier for me to win arguments based because like my political philosophy happens to be like sufficient and true and better.
Yeah,
But what it really is you staring at a dumbfounded person with like, what do you mean you don't support Trump, but you disagree with what I'm saying? Yeah,
oh
like, you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like whatever. Like that's fucking that puts like people are fucking literally dumbfounded by that statement. Yeah, if you come off with a right wing statement, it was like, well, here's your president, and then it's like, I didn't vote for the guy. I don't know what
yeah.
you're talking
I don't
about,
like that
dude.
guy. No, yeah, sure you don't. You know what I mean? You're just saying that to win the argument, kind of deal. Yeah, like there's a that's a pretty normal thing.
It's a weird fucking thing with people, man. It's just a weird thing that, and everybody's so up in everybody else's shit. Like, you know, I even tell my wife sometimes, like, she gets super upset about like, certain issues that go on. You know, she's
Yeah,
super like, fuck these people and these garbage people or whatever. You know, and I'm like, look, man, those like I don't even know why you care about some of this
yeah.
stuff. I
Why are
mean,
you letting
unless
those people piss you off? Yeah, yeah, I
unless
understand.
it's like involving like kids or something, you know what I mean? Where it's like
Mm,
these fucking pieces of shit did this to these people, you know, or whatever. But it's just like for me, man, I try not to have time for it, you know.
yeah,
I love hearing that out of her, you know. I love my wife's passion about things, but I'm not like I'm like, man, I can't get drawn into this. Like, it doesn't, like, fuck you. I've got it. I mean, not to my wife, but like,
Yeah,
fuck,
I got you.
fuck you. I've got my own life and my own shit to worry about. Like, I can't be bothered with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And the
yeah,
older I get, I know we're a bunch of mid 30, whatever cats around here, but it's like the older I get, the more I cannot be bothered with that garbage. I'm trying to figure my life out day in and day out, and what needs to get taken care of and what we have to do to make it all possible, and that's my world.
yeah. No, I mean it really is at this point. I don't like I that's kind of my thing. Like I don't get into the discussions very often. Like it'll just be every now and then I feel like I get optimistic, right? Like every now and then I get optimistic and I'm like, "Oh man, maybe it'll be different this time," right? And
Maybe
then
things will pan out this time,
yeah, you know what
man.
I mean? Like, nah, dude, people just can't be still that stupid. That was just that person that I was talking to, you know?
Oh,
And then I'm like, and then it takes me only like it takes me, 20 minutes or so to go, oh, no, never mind. Everybody's fucking stupid. That's
gets
really what it comes
worse,
down to.
gets
Yeah.
worse and worse by the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll go into this speaking of which, I'll go into this little tidbit before we hit our first breakup here. Um because it seems to have been a consensus amongst the community that we quote unquote don't represent,
Yeah.
but we are a part of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is that of course, like, Lauren Brown lost her fucking mind, and that's somebody that you have personal links with.
Yeah.
But like, she went all like capitalism is the devil, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I don't even know what she's thinking, but I'm going like, a lot of your shit doesn't make a lot of sense, and it never did. I've always had a problem with her just because she's this person that doesn't really say anything,
Yeah.
and
No, that's
it's like,
kind of been my issue too. Yeah.
and super followed. And we haven't gone down that misogynistic route in a while, but I'm like, I'm sorry, like, these people that don themselves anarchy girl or Ron Paul girl or whatever, and they have like these legions of fucking
Yeah. Here's
fat,
all of your followers. Yeah.
right,
And because you represent this group and then all of a
they're,
sudden, yeah.
they're all dudes, single lonely dudes. I mean, a big portion of
Yeah.
them, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not, but it's I've been following this thing for quite a long time, and me and Lee and Dennis kind of got into it a little bit, and she's been a decent part of the Friday Night Super Show and their respective shows for a good long while, a handful of years, and been nowhere near like what I am for those
Yeah.
guys, with those guys, but they have her on periodically.
And good of them to stick up for somebody who's their friend or whatnot.
Lee did. Lee
Yeah.
did. I just can't hold my tongue with stuff like that. And then, we're all drinking and partying on air. So then sometimes like it didn't get heated between me and Lee over that last night, but I was just like basically saying the same thing I'm saying now. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, you don't say anything. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're a name. You're in name only.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you have people that hang on to your every word, and people like you and I are sitting here creating content fucking multiple times a week that is good conversation that we like people to be a part of and everything else. But it's like, we don't garner that audience.
Yeah.
Like, it's a
But I
fuck
mean, that's
that
kind of the
flipping
thing. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, you listen intently and hang on every word of somebody that literally says nothing.
Yeah. And that's a pretty regular thing, though. I mean, I think that it's pretty obvious out there now that that's kind of the way the world works at this point. You know what I mean? Like
Right. Yeah. But the talent you have, the more popular you will become.
Oh yeah, I mean, well,
Wove,
the less talent you
is
have, and as well
Wovic
as
and Dog are in a fucking Instagram battle right now. Do you understand
yeah,
what my life
yeah,
is? Like, I want to fucking put it. I want to put a gun in my mouth and be able to reload clips in the middle of it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah. No, I mean it's fucking insane. It really is, and I think though that for the most part, people have just accepted that that's the case, and it's weird. It's weird for I don't know. I feel like all of us rational people are sitting off in the corner, just like, what in the fuck, you know? It just,
Like because we love comedy so much, I love interpreting some of this garbage of human existence that is out there into comedic value so I can laugh at how utterly stupid this I can't get
everything is.
yeah, I really can't get that mad like I used to anymore. I just can't. I can't allow myself to get, like my wife will tell you, dude, like I can't, like she would be out the door if I was as mad as I was about these other issues
Yeah, I
five,
mean, I
six.
think
Oh,
really for the
I am.
most part, I think for the most part, you have to detach yourself a bit, or you're gonna go fucking insane. Yeah,
But since it is a thing, I might as well be laughing at the utter stupidity of the rest of the world around me instead of going like, and it's not to put me up on like some smart ledge or whatever, but just
yeah, yeah.
people are fake and superficial as fuck. And I know I sound like a teenage girl saying that, but it's
Yeah,
like, it's
you
true.
do sound really, really angsty with
Right.
that. Yeah,
Can I be a 17-year-old
yeah,
tripette?
yeah. No shit. Uh,
You know what? So tired of all this drama and these fake ass fucks out there.
yeah.
Like
Everybody's so
nobody
fake.
real.
I'm the
Everybody's
only
so-
one who's real.
right. And I'm tired of, a bitch looks at me again like that, I'm gonna fucking break her face. Okay. Her dad is up at that bar drinking like all night long.
All night.
Came in the other day, all night long. And
You're gonna grow up
like,
to be a lush like your fucking dad, Krista.
exactly. Hey, congratulations being a future barfly, Oh my god, we gotta bring that character back at some point.
Like, dude, I just want to be like, dude, we make
trip.
yeah,
16
we make better. I make a better chick than most chicks. Just so you know, like men are better at chicking than fucking chicks are now. It's fucking well, actually, I mean, it's proven, right?
Goddamn rich cunt!
Oh, dude, trip at the fucking. Oh man, that's
The
good. I
Tripette.
gotta. No, I'm gonna work on that, dude. Valley trip.
Valley trip, yes.
Yeah, gag me with a spoon. Fucking dirty skanks. She looks so skanky in that. Like, nice Cole's outfit. You fucking.
Oh God, yeah. Cole's.
my wife just
Yeah, I
laughed.
heard that one. Oh,
nice,
dude.
nice Cole's outfit. Why don't you go to? I don't know.
No,
I
you
don't
lost
even know
it.
where
You lost it. You
bitches
were good.
high-end. I don't even know where high-end bitches like go to shop or whatever. But
where you go now?
right,
Yeah, I don't know.
clearance $5 Cole skirt. Fuck you.
Dude, I miss fucking. I mean, this is guys, but I miss I miss structure before it became fucking. What is it now? Now it's this weird. Man, I forgot what they changed this store to. Man, I don't know. Now it's like this weird Banana Republic place.
Oh, Hot Topic. Yeah, I've been there before.
No, not that one. Not that
I'm
one.
just.
Um, Yeah, dude. No, but it sucks. There's like no stores now for dudes either.
No,
we have
like, that's the other
department
thing.
stores.
Dude, and I we were gonna hit break after this, but I gotta say, man, I am, everybody's Amazon McGillicuddy. I've told you, fucking
Yeah.
Brit's got a fucking kid showing up here every other day,
Yeah,
from Amazon, and it's like that is great for a lot of stuff, it is good, but man, I really miss going out and the hunt of stuff, and I still
Yeah.
have to do it but now as a grown ass man, I'm like, dude, I don't want to be doing this. I want to be fucking chilling on my couch watching fucking
Yeah, for the most part.
and fucking playing God of War. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to.
For the most part, I'm only doing it now if I have to have something like fucking right this minute. That's the only time I'm fucking going to the goddamn store at this point.
Right,
Because,
but like,
yeah.
let me just say, like, if I know that it's there and I can do that one-stop shopping, I would much rather go into the store and pick it up and buy it and walk out with a bag. I don't know why, but I still love physically going out to places to get, you know, records or jeans or, you know, a new knife or, you know, whatever it is. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
that whole like being a fucking human being thing. Like,
Right.
you wanna like actually go out and interact with the world. It's fucking, yeah.
I don't like
strange.
that. I don't like the hassle of a lot
What a
of
fucking
stuff.
weirdo.
Right. Just saying. But it's like I love, you know, where I know where my shit's gonna be and I can just go and get it.
Yeah.
But I still physically going and doing that. Like I don't really hold, you know, you talk about that dopamine drip. Like we're gonna see a middle age. Mark the fucking tape, dude. I'm telling you. You know what? See in our generation, you're gonna see more middle-aged suicides than fucking anywhere else because we are gonna be completely out of dopamine by that thing that we get from our technology or whatever, you know. And you get super excited when you go online and buy those tickets, or you find that fucking thing you're looking for on Amazon. Fuck yeah, it'll be here in 2 days. Where's the tracking number, dude? And you fucking
Yeah.
That dopamine drip has to be so constant in our world right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean
like,
it's
we are
going
going to be
forever entertained. Like you must be entertained, and there must be bright lights in front of you at all times.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I can, I'd be like, please don't start drinking early. Not because it's not good for you, but like wait until all of your dopamine drip is out of your
so you can
life.
stay fucking happy on alcohol.
Right, and then you can start drink. Like don't start drinking until like your mid 40s. You know.
Yeah.
At the point, who gives a fuck anyway? You know, run, fucking,
Then just
take
fucking let it go. Just let it go.
Right,
It's
just
over.
let it go, man. Because holy shit, it's in a bleak fucking future. But all right,
Like, I mean, I think we need I think we need the like utter violence and fucking stalking of like our robot overlords to keep us entertained at this point. You know what I mean? Like, that has to
take
happen.
over.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But okay, we're gonna hit our first break here. Probably one of my favorite bands of all time that we just don't play too often. But I love this band. They're a true unique band, and I've seen them a handful of times. First time I saw them was 98, 99 Ozfest. Like they were like at the shit
You
stage.
old son of a bitch.
I'm just saying, like, no, they were relatively unknown when I first started listening to them. So, but yeah, we'll play that and come back with Skin Dread. So,
All right.
got it. One.
Cool.
Be back in a couple minutes, everybody.
Making new possibilities a reality, predicting the future of things we all know. Fighting off the disease programming of centuries, 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 centuries. Science has to recognize the single most important element of human existence. Letting the reins go to the unfolding is fate, 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 fate. Curse has failed our world. Science has failed our mother Earth. Science has to recognize the single most potent element of human existence. Letting the reins go to the unfolding is fate, 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 fate. Curse has failed
evil attack. Zombie take over, boy, watch your back. Infected, disease unprotected. Sound touch a lick, so everybody dress back. Good verse evil, evil verse worse. Worse verse terrible, worse verse curse. Don't with we. Someone about a with we. A Richie bounce then go. No retreat and no surrender. Watch them already everywhere sound. Boy, stop talk. You want to end everything you ever said. You know it is a lie. We not listen to rules. No, you breast things like. So go, move on. But what we tell you once before. So rude boy, fool boy, move from me door. With we, rude boy, no matter. With we, a Richie bounce. We're running it, gunning it. You know you can't kill the power. Killing it. You know you can't kill the power. You keep on running, but you just can't hide. Kill the power. You keep on running, but you know you can't hide. Can't kill the power. Ain't no killing what cannot be killed. I'm not joking, the blood gets spilled. Rewind, select, gunshot, a lick. Idiot sound boy, sound mic. Drop them, roll on, goodbye, so long. Ain't no killing what cannot be killed. Underground, you're gonna stay long. That's the way cemetery gets filled. No retreat and no surrender. Watch them already everywhere now. We're running it, gunning it. You know you can't kill the power. Killing it. You know you can't kill the power. You keep on running, but you just can't hide. Kill the power. You keep on running, but you know you can't hide. Can't kill the power.
Drums, beat the drum, funk. Drums, beat the drum, beat. Drums, beat the drum, funk. Drums, beat the drum, beat. Drums, beat the drum, funk. Drums, beat the drum, beat. Drums, beat the drum, funk. Drums, beat the drum,
We won't surrender. No, we won't give up. No, we're not gonna give up. No, we're not gonna give up. No, we won't give up. You keep on running, but you just can't hide. Kill the power. We're running it, gunning it. You know you can't kill the power. Killing it. You know you can't kill the power. 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 Kill the power.
Welcome back to WDAD. Do you think your mom's boyfriend is hot? Then you're listening to Valley Radio.
Oh God. Yes.
All the songs that your stepdad's listening to.
Oh man. It's fucking ridiculous how accurate that shit is.
You know, and that's the other thing. It's like where we were coming up, like that was maybe like something different, but like nowadays it's probably stepdad radio is probably like the hard rock, like Trapped is on there, Godsmack, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like stepdad rock at this point, you know. I'm a stepdad. I just, you know,
Yeah.
just saying, like, probably changed a lot, but yeah, I love Valley Radio. Valley Radio. Do you think your mom's boyfriend's hot?
Dude, it's so fucking. I mean, dude, I don't know, man. It's really strange. It's weird to see all of this shit. Like, I feel like
Actually manifest.
yeah, and it's even it's more strange because like, all right, like I get it. Like, there's a certain part of me that's like, okay, look, I understand, right? Like, so white men were kind of like the ruling class in generalities. We're speaking here, right? Like for a long time. So now when you fucking release that to everyone, right? Like, maybe that's gonna flip fucking racism and sexism and things like that a little bit, right? So I can understand that to a certain degree, but it's so weird to watch like it
People
become
become delusional about it.
yeah, like I mean, dude, like it's so fucking strange. Like I've started like the most sexist people in the world are women now. Like the most like fucking
Right.
like, and they use like the same thing that racist black people do. That like, oh, fucking you can't be racist against white men, and fucking you can't be sexist against white men, and like.
Okay.
Yeah, like, well, fuck. I don't think you know what the word means. Like, I think you,
Right.
I think you've completely ignored what the fuck it means, and it's just strange to watch it happen. And it's strange to watch it like when you try and defend yourself by saying like, "No, dude, hey, you're being a fucking racist," and people are like, "Dude, I can't be racist against you. You're a white man," and you're like, fuck.
All right.
I don't think you. Yeah. It's just weird.
I hope,
It
I
has
hope
to
our
switch.
I hope our great grandkids will be able to tell the tale of like their struggle out of white slavery. Like right
Yeah.
now, white slavery means like the sex trade, sex trafficking and shit like that. Like
Yeah.
our great grandkids will probably tell of the time where like we were super oppressed, damn near slavery again. Because white people don't matter. And it was like, dude, like this shit is just like history in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like that's the road we're going down.
No,
You
and
know
it's
what
weird
I mean?
though. Like it's that. I mean, it's weird that people can't understand that. Like it's strange that people will argue. No, dude, that's not the case. Like, and you're like, wait, but you don't see how if we keep doing this, it's just gonna be the same thing, but the
that's
other
the
way.
weird thing is
Like,
you have like these super overtly apologetic fucking white people that are like,
yeah, which are way worse, honestly.
you only have to like I only have sex with men of color because I want biracial babies because we have to do away with the white race. Like they hate themselves that much. Like
Yeah.
those people are a thing if you don't know out there.
Yeah, absolutely, they exist. And
But they have like this sort of mentality, and we've brought it up plenty of times where it's like, I don't want anybody to not have anything. I want everybody to be wherever they look at the plight of the white man that most white men don't even have. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, okay, you look at the uber rich, yeah, they're all, Jewish, white, fucking old men that run the fucking world,
yeah, but I mean, like,
and I mean just like white guys in general or whatever. But it's like, dude, I want everybody to come to this prominence that when you ask other cultures and how they view white guys, like we've just got it the best, it's like, no, man, fucking, we come out of fucking places that are, we had to work for it, man. We like you drop the biggest millionaire kid on their ass, and what you got?
yeah,
You
like
might find
he's no longer this crazy privileged kid if he,
Right.
yeah. But that's not like a thing, like,
right. But I gotta tell you, I did want to bring this up, dude, because it is probably the most perfectly written masterpiece in the past handful of years. Just the writing of this is. I finished Cobra Kai today. I binged the shit.
Oh man, really? I haven't even started it because I just assumed it had to be ridiculous.
Dude, I signed up for the fucking YouTube Red, and I might just discontinue like it because it's free and I get billed once next month. But until I'll run the gambit on what they have. But I might just until they get more content, because honestly, from what I saw, there's just not a lot of content up there to justify the price. So, but I was like, I have to do this, and you can watch the first 2 episodes for free.
Yeah, no, I mean, I saw, and I almost started watching the first one, and then I was just like, dude, I don't know. Yeah,
I watched the first 2, and found out that the rest of them were you had to have YouTube Red to do that, and I was like,
okay.
Okay, they're not gonna bill me till next month. Like that's my mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, they're not gonna bill me until next month, so like I can still watch the rest of it for free, basically, right now because I'm like broke as a joke right now.
Yeah.
You know, I got like $100 to last me the next.
Oh man, my new job pays me every week, dude. It's so fucking great.
I just become like I'm able to usually figure out like I get paid once a month. I know that sounds crazy to most people, but I get paid once a month, so I got to kind of figure out.
Which is awesome and terrible at the same time because it seems like you're like your check is huge.
If I do
it's not
baller shit, it's within the first like 8 days of me getting paid. You know, that's my baller shit for the fucking month. You know, like me and Britt went out to see Jim Norton, whatever that was, like weeks ago. You know, that was like my beginning of the month baller shit. You know, dropped a lot on drinks and had a good time. My old lady that we don't get to go out that often, all that stuff. So it was like that was like my baller shit. I didn't even go to my place and get my straight razor shaved this month because I knew it just wasn't in the budget. You know what I'm saying? And that's like one of my few things where I'm like, I really like that's if I can just do that once a month. You know what I'm saying? I'm good to go. But anyway, sorry to get off the beaten path there, but this Cobra Kai show ties in a lot of what we're talking about as far as social issues go.
Which and is weird that that's on YouTube. That YouTube is...
It's so fucking well written, and the inner dynamics and the way they flip the script where it seems like the original story and they tie in the old story to a certain extent. And, you know, Johnny Lawrence is like this guy that never left the 80s. He's like rolling around listening to Rat and Poison and an IROC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, awesome. It's fucking awesome. And I'm like, I'm really rooting for this guy, dude. Billy Zabka is the fucking guy that was the quintessential teenage douchebag character in a lot of 80s films. Most notably The Karate Kid. But he played that guy. That was his gimmick, you know. This shows not only the versatility of Billy Zabka, but is such a active commentary on the world that we live in today. Deals with cyberbullying, deals with people that have like fuck you, like the people that make it out of that. Like there's a kid with a hair lip, and I'm not going to give everything away here, but like there's a kid with a hair lip that is like is all like timid and shitty, and they sit at the loser table at the lunch, and he's like, fuck you, I went and I got a guy that does tattoos, made a badass, I'm 16, 17 years old, and I got a fucking badass eagle on my back tattooed, and I fucking dyed my hair blue and shaved my fucking Justin Bieber hair, and now it's a mohawk. And and then the popular girls are like come around to him, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's this kid that is that dude in that show. So like it shows like these positive aspect of making like these loser kids like fuck you, stop being a pussy is basically like Cobra Kai standpoint, you know, like don't stop being a pussy, you know, like no, we're like, well, I don't think that's politically correct, Sensei. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, you know, that's like he doesn't know what Facebook is, you know what I'm saying? Like Billy Zabka never left like 84 to 88. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's the first 2 episodes are free. Please go watch them. I'm telling you. I couldn't even resist signing up to fucking make sure that I watch the rest of it. And you're like, Daniel LaRusso and his son are an asshole.
Yeah.
But they just they're vindictive cocks. Like they really play off of that whole How I Met Your Mother deal where do you know about that?
No.
that's where How I Met Your Mother is where the whole Daniel is the real bully
Okay.
started, because he told his friend in the show How I Met Your Mother, Neil Patrick Harris is like a ladies man, etc.
Yeah.
And he goes, I want the Karate Kid at my bachelor party. And so they get Ralph Macchio, and he goes, you're not the real Karate Kid. I didn't want Ralph Macchio. I hate you, Ralph Macchio. Right? You know,
Yeah.
because and that's what started the whole thing, where he's like, Billy Zabka was the guy, you know, he did all this. Like, that's where that whole mythology of those characters started, where Billy Zabka is the real Karate Kid or whatever.
Okay. All right.
And he's a clown, and it turns out the clown that they hired for the bachelor party ends up being Billy Zabka at the end. You can't tell when he's doing his thing, but he wipes the makeup off at the end of the episode.
Okay.
And Neil Patrick Harris realizes that it's Billy Zabka, and he's fucking overtly excited, you know, of course. But it's just a great commentary on everything that's going on. And if you even semi like the Karate Kid, if you're like, yeah, that's a good movie, that's in my wheelhouse, you know, that's in my box of treats, I like the Karate Kid, you will absolutely love Cobra Kai.
I'm gonna have to check that out then.
I'm telling you, just watch the first 2 episodes. Anybody can go watch that for free right now. The first 2 episodes. Yeah. I know, I feel like since we do have a YouTube channel and they've been nice to us for copyrighted material, that I seem to like want to throw them a bone, I guess, every now and again, even though they're a bunch of cunts and
yeah, absolutely.
Fuck that, but
fuck those guys. But
right,
but you guys are right. You're being kind of nice. So
you're really gonna watch this Cobra Kai show, you know.
Yeah.
But no, it's such a great modern day commentary on what it is to be like a high school kid nowadays, from all sides of the track, you know. It's great. And you have these people that are like, you know, it really lets you know how much technology that fucking kids are dealing with nowadays as well.
I mean, I do think it's definitely fucking difficult for them, and it's something that none of us can understand on certain levels, because it is just fucking odd, like the amount of shit that they're dealing with that nobody else has had to deal with before.
Right.
But I still don't think it justifies being a complete fucking sissy, which is
right
to a certain extent is being touted as how they're supposed to live their lives.
And that's kind of like where you find a lot of this stuff. You know, a good amount of these kids are going like, that's the power of the kids that are involved with that Cobra Kai deal, where it's like, they told me to kill myself online and I'm a fat pig, or I got a hair lip, or I'm a loser, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people that are pieces of trash that you hate are calling these kids all kinds of, and it's like, no, I can stand up for myself, you know. So the reemergence of Cobra Kai is kind of like this whole metaphor for you know, kids that are sick of being picked on, but they end up like inevitably becoming bullies themselves to a certain extent. Like it goes through this transition of, okay, now I'm just standing up for myself, and then it turns into something, you know, of what we know, of course, is a little bit more sinister. So, but that middle ground is like very important, where it's like you see what the kids are dealing with all the time, you know, and their shit going viral, and their you know, the cyberbullying stuff and all of that stuff, and it's like, no, fuck you, you know. And there's a scene, like I said, I'm not going to give too much away or whatever, but there's a scene where he goes, what a bunch of pussies, and he's saying this to a bunch of, like, you know, 16-year-old kids or whatever, and he's like, in my day, you had to go up to somebody's face and tell them what you really thought about them and have to face the consequences. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's people, you know, and they go through like these people make fake accounts and do this shit and whatever. And he goes, you know, and it's like, no, that's really that's honestly, even though
It's fucking cowardly as fuck.
he's supposed to be the bad guy, quote unquote, you know, it's like, no, that's really what it was. If you wanted to, and it brought me back because I had
Yeah,
a
at
message.
least even bullies couldn't be complete sissies, right? Like they still had to
Right.
you still had to own your shit.
Well, like the first thing that I ever had as far as like the cyber world or whatever was we had a website. I don't know who ran it or whatever, but you know, it had like all of the stuff with the school. So it was basically all the people at the school, and then they would update like the couples of the school or whatever. So it was obviously like a tech savvy clicky rich, yeah, valley tech
Yeah, yeah.
person or whatever. So but you know, people would talk shit on this fucking website like all
Yeah.
the time, and hardly anybody would sign their name, and I signed my name every single time, you
Yeah.
know. So like that's that's a real problem, is the anonymity of a lot of people. The anonymity is like
No,
especially
I mean, it's their shield.
if it's
Yeah.
right, somebody that you, if it's somebody that you deal with in real life and you just can't pinpoint what that is, or who that is,
Yeah.
it's like that's the fucking coward.
Yeah.
Not the people that are going fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, trip you,
Yeah,
or what.
exactly. Yeah, no, I mean, and that's kind of my thing is like I do my best to not be like, you know, completely anonymous online because I feel like it's just a really fucking pussy way to act. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that guy that fucking doesn't, you know, that's afraid to be who I am or at least say who I am. You know what I mean?
It's the music, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't
Where
want
it's
to seem
like,
like I'm hiding from fucking consequences.
Hey.
You know what I mean?
I put my seal of approval on this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's not normal now.
No,
that's not at all. It's fucking.
not
And
at
I mean,
all.
and that's what has happened though too, is that because of that, like people have these crazy fucking opinions that they are completely unfounded because nobody has to actually fucking hear or face, you know, the consequences
The
for what they
consequences,
fucking
absolutely.
say.
But that's the other thing is that
And
you
then
have
nobody says anything face to face because they just say it online. And then
Right.
yeah. So they go walking around with this stupid shit in their head that fucking they never have to like, oh, okay,
But-
I get hit in the mouth for saying that kind of shit, you know?
right. But guess what? Guess who those people really are? They're the most vanilla, fucking bland, fucking people of your given community. They are the people fucking around, and like there's people that are probably like straight up people that are either really desperately trying to fake the funk.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying about that?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
they try to make their lives look through things like social media. They try to make their lives look way more extravagant than they really are, you know?
Yeah.
Or they're like these fucking crazy people that have like fake accounts that go and tell people what they really want to say, or like do what they're trying to manifest in society or life, instead of actually making a valiant effort to do that in their day in and day out life. It's just this psychotic fucking, here's what's rambling up into my head. Or they're just fucking with people and troll people. I was like, dude, I don't need a fake fucking account to troll people. I do that.
Dude.
Yeah,
I'll
I do
troll
that.
you as me. Yeah.
Right,
Fucking-
exactly. Yeah. I do that shit on HuffPost and fucking Washington Post and Vice all the time.
Yeah.
And that's like, man, that is another fucked up thing, man. You watch some of these outlets and it's just like Vice is really turned into like this whole, it used to be very intriguing a handful of years ago. Like
Yeah, I remember those days.
their mini docs and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's just like here's
Here's why
debauch-
white people are cocksuckers.
No,
fucking,
it's not even like
weird
that.
fucking shit.
It's not even, it is that, but it's also like, here's debauchery.
yeah.
You
Okay.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here's debauchery.
Yeah.
I'm calling it that. They're not calling it that, but it's
No.
like, how fucking weird can we get? How down the line of sub-click fucking genres of people can we get and infiltrate into and make a mini doc or a article on? Like, that's, it's like 3 things started happening when I stopped getting bananas shoved up my butthole by my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Read on to fucking figure it out, or what?
Yeah.
It's just like bizarre shit that they like. Go to Vice right now. Anybody can go do this while you're listening to us, and just go scroll through like the barrage of articles that people have, and it's all this weird sex stuff, and it's like and like I like a good bit of like their drug related stuff. Their what do you call them? Psychoactive shit, drug stuff. But other than that, it's just like how debaucherous can we become? Is like Vice now. And then, I got an app on my phone, and I do like it. But it's called Smart News. I don't know if anybody else has this or not. I mean, it seems to be somewhat popular, but it's it's validated news, so you don't accidentally come across like a fake news website or anything like that. Like they take care of like booting that shit right off the rip. However, I did write a review, and I heard a lot. I went through the reviews after I wrote the review, and I found a lot of the same stuff where it was like, look, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat, but like all of this news that is like opinion pieces or whatever, it's like all of this stuff is very left leaning. And I said, I don't need a right leaning, outlet to come in here. I want to have a here's the news. And they have this stereotypical response I've noticed which is pretty much the same one that I got. Well, you can go to your personal settings and see more things from such as Fox News. And I said, I didn't say that I want Fox News, you cocksuckers. I'm saying that I want a centrist view. Here's the fucking news. Here's the news. This is what it is. I don't want like a whole left-leaning or a whole right-leaning fucking news article written that comes across this fucking app. I want something that says, here's the news. Yeah. Do with it what you will.
I don't need you to fucking give me... Yeah. No, I get it. And
that people like me that are content providers would be more apt to fucking share things from this fucking... and don't get me wrong, it's not total garbage, There is a lot of stuff that is good here, but it's still like they share so much stuff that's just so left-leaning and opinion pieces where it's like, okay, well, the things that you're saying are true, but it tells you how much of a piece of garbage every Republican and the president and everything else is. Like, I don't need all that. I already know these things. Yeah. If there's anything to know about these people, I already know it. I don't need your 2 cents on this. Just how about here's the news?
Yeah, can I get one of those? Yeah.
Can I get some news, please?
That's all I need. A little bit of news. Yeah, no, I mean it is strange. Like, I don't know, man. I mean, I know that biases, right, are a thing, and so I try and accept that to a certain degree, right? But it does always seem like there's this weird like somebody's trying to push me on something, like,
Sure.
and it's annoying. It's really fucking annoying. Where I'm like,
Right.
all right, dude, look, come on,
Stop that.
yeah, could you
Could you,
just be a little non-biased, right? Like just
could you just stop?
and I
You know?
like the fact that like, you know, guys like News to Share, they do that, but I mean they can't cover absolutely everything I want to ever hear, you know what I mean? So
Right.
I like to be able to get multiple news sources. It's just really difficult to do. I don't
By the
know.
way, like I said, we don't have people like Ford on because he doesn't think like us, because I know that he does to a certain extent. I'm not
Yeah.
saying like Ford definitely, Ford Fisher does not sign on for everything that we're all about here. You know,
No,
like
yeah.
that's, I'll say that straight up. However, he is a like-minded individual, I will say.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
a lot of topical issues,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't have him on because he doesn't not feel like us. But
Yeah.
it's also going like, eh, you know, he has to stay neutral. And I tried to play that role for a good long while, and you know, not too long after you joined the show was like, no, I have these political leanings, but I'm kind of sick of trying to cover things from a neutral place, because if I do man on the street stuff, which I have, and we've done protest videos, our whole JRev crew, you know, when we were really out there doing it like that, it's like, yes, we are individuals with libertarian leaning views, but we are out here asking fair, honest questions.
Yeah.
You know, not Fox News fair and balanced, like truly fair and balanced
Yeah,
questions.
actually fair and balanced.
And- right. And we'll poke a hole in the story of a leftist just as much as we will poke a hole in the story of a right leaning person.
Yeah.
So, like, that was kind of our view, as far as anything that we did journalistically, when me and Matt and Robert would go out and do these things. But fuck, man, has it taken a turn for the worse for so many outlets and so many people, you know? It's
Yeah.
bad news. It's bad news out there.
It is. It's pretty fucking crazy out there. I don't know, man. I really don't. Like, I don't have like a comfortable fucking area anymore on anything. There's not anybody that I'm like, oh yeah, no. I mean,
Handle your own.
at least these guys aren't crazy. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have like, there's nobody
hope
for me to say that
Also,
about.
like I hope that that's our appeal. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we'd rather listen to Trip and Zach. Why? Because we're not crazy.
Yeah,
You know?
like exactly. I mean, it fucking sucks.
It's the best appeal that we could have to a future audience is like, we're not crazy. We
Yeah,
think
no, we're
with
not
logic.
insane. Yeah, I mean that's
Right.
and that sucks because it's like, dude, I just want like I don't know. I don't want to say I want to belong to a group, right? I just wish that there was somebody that I could be like, yeah, okay, look, I don't always agree with them, but at least they're not fucking insane, you know? But
Right.
I don't like every time I start to kind of like find a little area where I'm like, oh, these guys might not be fucking crazy. Somebody comes out and he's like, oh, the fucking world's flat. And you're like, God damn it. You know what I mean? Like,
Or
and,
everything just splinters off,
and it's not
Yeah.
like a guy that just wants to discuss like the possibilities of the world being flat, which I could handle, right? Like I can handle fucking somebody.
I'll tell you what it is. It's some splintered off group of people that are like, no, I'm an like, we got new school flat earthers. I'm an OG flat earther, and we've got alt flat earthers now.
Yeah,
I don't
like
know.
I've had discussions with people.
You understand what I'm saying,
Yeah,
dude?
dude. Like I've had discussions with people who were and I had discussion with a guy I want to say like maybe 2 weeks ago who was just a regular dude that I was talking to. It was actually one of Sam's friends' husbands, right? And he was just discussing the idea of like, and it was doing it from a very reasonable like philosophical point of like, hey, like, but
Sure.
we haven't seen the Earth ourselves, right? Like, and I'm like, hey, yeah, all right, here, like, that's a reasonable way to start your view on it. Like, I'm not gonna disagree with that. Like, you haven't. here's this was my deciding factor, all right? Because I did go in when the flat Earth thing became a thing. I went and researched it a little bit to be like, no, at least if I'm going to make an argument about it, I need to at least have looked into what the fuck they're saying, right?
The way all planets are flat as well. They just happen to be facing Earth.
Well,
exactly.
exactly correct. Yeah.
They're flat, but they happen to be facing Earth at their flattest.
Well, this was my very.
The universe does revolve around the Earth, I guess, is my point. You know,
No,
the sun.
that is what they say, though. That is what they say. Most of them actually like go at it from a biblical perspective, right? Is what they use. They use the Bible as like an example of how.
That I never looked into it, but yeah, I noticed that a lot of flat earthers were like uber Christian people, you know,
and I don't think they're uber Christian. I think they've just actually found something the Bible justifies their viewpoint, so now they use the Bible.
Smart! Not like everybody says! Like dumb, I'm smart and I want respect!
But my the thing that I used that was like a basic, hey dude, you can see this for yourself, right? If the earth was flat, then the sun itself would get smaller and larger by day and night, because it would never go, like, it doesn't make any sense for the sun to rise and set if the earth is flat. The sun would have to get smaller in diameter and then larger in diameter as the day passed.
Well,
so it wouldn't make any sense for it to be dark here and then bright in China, because fucking the world's flat. So it would just have to be, the sun would have to be over there, not, on the other side of the earth.
Would see it really come up on the, like, that's the other thing.
Yeah, it would never
too.
come up because it would just be circling above the earth,
Right. And like, you think about a moon, I guess people more so notice the moon just because more people are out and about and doing things. But you notice that there's an hour or two every night that, something, let's just say a brighter moon, anything other than like a half moon is going on, where you see it start. Why do you see it start below a certain point and then it comes up?
Yeah, it couldn't do that shit. It wouldn't work.
And it happens all the time when I'm out here and I go outside on breaks to have smokes and all that stuff, and I see where it's like, okay, it's now night and it's just above like a tree line and it might look huge. And then I come out 35, to an hour later and it's way up high in the sky, looks a lot smaller than it did 45 minutes ago.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a pretty obvious thing to fucking eventually, like, I mean, I could understand how you could have the flat earth viewpoint for like a day. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
like, it's out. Like, let me check this. You might
that totally makes sense, and then you got to be like, oh, okay. Yeah, no.
You have a, hey, let me check this out day. But you're like, no, these people are fucking retarded. And I think
that doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, anybody that opposes them, they shout down, which should immediately make you feel skeptical of anybody.
But here's a certain amount of middle ground with things like that, because we could say flat earth as well as we could say a dozen other topics of people that align themselves to those issues, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I think that possibly all of those type of deals are started by people that are either trolling people and it catches wind, or it's done very much methodically through very important outlets to dismantle unification of, I mean, let's just look at the liberty community alone. How many flat earthers do we have that also believe in a good bit of our type of values aside from flat earth, right?
Yeah.
So bring shit like that into the fold, and what that really does is dismantle everything has been built up until that time with that community.
Yeah.
So now you just got an online community of people that are fucking bitching at each other about like, hey, I really like what he says about anarcho-capitalism or whatever, and or libertarianism, but I believe the world's flat. Well, fuck you, because you're retarded. You know, like.
Yeah.
Or they have these people that fucking jump on board, which further dismantles the fucking community at stake. You know, where it's like, for some people, it sucks when you go, really, flat Earth is what you're hung up about. And we have consistently stayed economically driven here on this show, at least, where it's like, fuck you. You know what really matters? Your fucking paycheck and your wallet and your freedom. What you're able to take home, more economic freedom.
Oh, you privileged white male. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, fuck you. I just understand that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I just don't want to be a poor white male. Shut up.
Right. I'm like Paul and fucking I'm like Paulie and fucking Goodfellas. Like, don't like it? Fuck you. Pay me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
That's keep 100% of my income. I'll figure it out from there. You know, I'll be able to get on to bigger and better things about how to fix our society after I'm able to keep 100% of my income, because then I know what I'm worth. I get to keep what I'm worth, and I got to make it work for what I'm worth. And anything that I choose to tackle after the fact, I don't feel like I'm being robbed for. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like, oh, wow, I've got $8,000 a year that I fucking never see, and I will never see. You know, how long since we were fucking right around the time that we started the workforce is when you started to hear you'll never see Social Security, but you're going to pay into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I believe that. You know, we'll pay into it, but you fucking, talk to us another 35 years. We'll never fucking see that shit. And if it is, it definitely won't be anywhere near what we fucking paid into it.
Oh, no, we won't see it. It's not going to happen.
Age,
but yeah.
and if we're lucky enough to make it to that fucking age, you know?
Yeah. No, it's, that shit's gone. We're not going to be, getting that.
I'm just saying. Well, what did that do for me? Nothing. But you're part of this. You're part of this socialistic system that fucking garners and warrants.
Bro, it's democratic
stealing
socialism.
Paycheck. Oh, that's right. Sorry, forget.
It's way better. You know what I mean?
I hate when
people get to vote on how much they starve, type of shit. You know what I mean?
I gotta admit, dude, I wish you wouldn't have. I hate when I end up looking like a dumbass on the show. It really upsets me, man.
Yeah, I know.
But you're right.
Totally different. Yeah.
Dude, I'm fair though. I'm fair. Okay, so you're not wrong. You know, you're not wrong. I'm just upset at myself because I end up looking like a fool. So,
of course.
I
can understand.
Yeah, we're gonna hit our last break here, and we'll come up and wrap it up on the back end, everybody. So stay tuned. This is, I don't know if we've even ever played this on the show before, but this is one of my top 10 bands from my hometown. We played them a lot here, but I don't think we've ever played this song. They came out with this album shortly after the 2008 thing that sort of launched most of us being as active as we are. The bubble machine and the housing crisis and everybody losing their jobs and inflation like a motherfucker and all that stuff. So this is Driving and Criving. Whatever Happened to the Great American Bubble Factory is the name of the song. So we'll be back in about 6 or 7.
If you can make it there, why don't you make it here? take it solo. They will remember today all around the world. You know I can't compete with the Dollar Tree. You got your trinkets and your bubbles and your mystery. Your ticket tax, the ducks and your food across the border. Whatever happened to the great American factory? Whatever happened to the great American world? Whatever happened to the great American factory? Whatever happened to the great American world? If you can make it here, why don't you make it here? I used to have a nice life. I used to live by the right, but I strayed from the good side of the Lord, and I flirted with the devil, and he dealt me a card. And he told me that you will never win. And he told me that I was his best friend. I had nothing to go home to, so I sold my soul to the devil. Now I'm blue. Never thought it could be this bad. Hurting like this, oh, it's killing me bad. And now I'm stuck in a life of pain. And I got the devil taking me away. And he told me that you will never win. And he told me that I was his only friend. I had nothing to go home to, devil, now I'm blue. So I sold my soul to the devil, now I'm blue.
All right, everybody, back at it. Final segment. Post politics.
Oh
What's
yeah.
going
Oh yeah.
on there? Well, let's shake it up a little bit. What's going on? What's fun?
Man, shit, dude. Not a whole lot over here, man. Just been working my ass off, man. Doing my
No,
6 days a week. It's been
Fuck.
nice.
I did laundry and
I did go see Deadpool yesterday.
Oh, did you?
It was fucking excellent.
Yeah.
God, it was fucking good. Yeah.
Was
yeah.
it most triumphant?
Oh, dude, so fucking yes. Very fucking well done, dude. Goddamn. And it was awesome because we were gonna go see it Friday night, and we went and we got there, and we were going to like the fucking 8 o'clock show, and the bitch was to see the 8 o'clock movie was only front row seats, and that was an hour before the movie, and I was like, okay, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not sitting at the front. So let me buy tickets for tomorrow's show, right? And at least I won't have work on Sunday, so that's cool. So I buy tickets for the 7:45 show on Saturday, and fucking dude, I get to work Saturday morning, and I'm talking to one of my coworkers, and he's like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and buy tickets. He gets on, and every theater in Houston already sold out for Saturday. And
Caleb crossed that too, and Caleb is like Mr. Deadpool, you know, like between Caleb Leverett and Dennis Ford, they are like Mr. fucking Deadpool for sure. Yeah. And like Caleb was like, I fucking everything was sold out, you know.
Yeah, dude. I think it was still sold out. I think it was still selling out today. So it was awesome.
Look, on the rare occasion I do go, like the last movie I went and saw was last September, and it was It.
Yeah.
Me and the wife and saw It, and I was like, that's just something I have to do in the theater, you know.
Yeah.
And I very rarely go. Most of the time, it's a fucking kids movie. I think Moana. Me and my daughter went and saw Moana. Was probably the last one before It that I went and saw. So, like I said, that's like over 6 months, you know.
Yeah.
Since I saw a movie in the theater, but I always catch a matinee. I usually prefer to catch the first fucking airing of the day. And I never go on opening fucking weekend.
Yeah.
Ever. And I don't care what it is. I didn't see It opening week. It was like 2 weeks after it aired, you know, that me and my wife went and saw It. But I was like, that's something I want to see in the theater, so we need to go do that. But never opening weekend, never a prime time 8 o'clock at night Friday or Saturday show, you know, like never. Sadly, I want to see it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I mean, the only thing that was, I mean, really, it was actually a pretty good fucking little movie experience, as far as, you know, being there. But it was funny to me because there was a good amount of like kids that their parents took them to see it.
Man, dude,
and it was listen, dude, it was way more vulgar than the first one, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I won't say way more. There was definitely parts in it that were more vulgar than the first one, though, and
sure.
And which made sense because, hey, we've already established that this is going to be a vulgar movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
right. That was the big topper the first time around, too, with that, where it was like, this was a superhero movie that my kids wanted to see. And it's like, you know what? You're just a shitty fucking parent. How about that?
Yeah, like get out of here. Have your kids read the comic book? Because if they have, you're an asshole for that, too. You know, right. Like it's not like he's just making this up like out of the blue. He's making Deadpool vulgar. Like Deadpool has been vulgar.
How about you're just a shitty parent that don't know what your kids are into? How about that?
And that's my thing is that I'm not necessarily like. Here's the deal: if you explain to your kids and you understand and what's going on, then
Well,
absolutely.
We'll
Yeah,
go
like
see one of those superhero movies, sweetheart. Yeah,
yeah,
Deadpool's coming out. Deadpool.
it's like
What is that?
the problem is if you're one of those assholes that like gets surprised and doesn't have anything to discuss with your kid about it. Like that's kind of the issue.
Right.
So I mean, I'm not going to say everybody that took their kid there was an idiot because, they may have explained what was going on and kind of like that. But it was so fucking good, dude. I mean, it really was. It was really cool. There's some surprise fucking people in it that they don't mention them being in the movie. And I'm not going to give any of that away. But I was extremely fucking excited when I saw who it was. I was like, "Oh shit, I can't believe he's in this." And it was really fucking cool. And it's not going to be anybody that you're thinking of, just so you know.
Hold on. Okay, just tell me this or not. Is it like a guest appearance by another quote Marvel character, or is it just somebody in the film that you didn't expect?
No, it's another Marvel character for sure, but it's not a. I'll say this: it's not a Marvel character that has their own movie. So,
ooh,
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, I'll give it that, but that's about it because I don't want to ruin it for anybody. But it was just a very very good fucking movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean. And it did. I mean, it starts with, I'll give you, like, the opening scene is...
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
He starts it just being completely fucking just pop culture references of him being an asshole from the very beginning, and it's great.
That's the way the first one went, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, and so, I mean, he does not disappoint. And that's the thing, dude. I mean, Ryan Reynolds was fucking born for this part. I mean, he just really was.
Absolutely.
And it's funny because I follow the guy on Instagram, and there's people all over his Instagram that are like, Ryan Reynolds doesn't even exist anymore. Like, he's just Deadpool. Like, there's not a... Like, Ryan Reynolds got replaced by Deadpool.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at, like, Ryan Reynolds, he's always, like...
Oh, no, that's who he's always been. It's not like he's...
Always, even in acting roles. Like,
yeah,
look,
no, Van Wilder, which is my...
Waiting. And did you know that's based off of Burt Kreischer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Van Wilder is based off of Burt Kreischer.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, Ryan Reynolds, Waiting...
Oh yeah,
Van Wilder, Deadpool. These are all, pretty. Other than, of course, the character anomalies of those people. They're essentially have the same mentality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because Van Wilder is one of my all-time favorite fucking comedies. Like, it's still to this day, I fucking love that movie. I laughed my ass off all the way through it, and I probably watched it like fucking 30 goddamn times as a teenager. Right? And I
it's like
loved it.
It's like Ferris. You know what they could have done that as? They didn't even have to do like Van Wilder. They could have just done like Ferris Bueller Goes to College. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it was our generation's Ferris Bueller.
They could have just gone Ferris Bueller Goes to College.
Yeah, because it was our generation's Ferris Bueller, without a doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I loved it, man. I mean, it was so fucking well done. He did not disappoint. He kept it fucking going.
I'll definitely check that out as soon as possible. I probably won't, like I waited until it came on demand and rented it off of my cable network. I prefer seeing movies that way nowadays. Like like I said, there's some things, unless it's something with the kids, it's got to be something very long awaited. Like, I would go see a new Terminator movie in the theater. I saw it in the theater. It's got to be something that's like, this is a very long-awaited thing.
They do have the new the new Predators coming out. They're making another goddamn Purge. I can't even believe they're making another Purge. But
Oh,
Yeah.
it looked good though. I
mean,
think.
it looks it looks good. I just
Oh,
it's like fuck.
no, it's the first purge. That's right. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
the first purge. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is cool.
that
Like I like the idea that they're going to tell that story.
I-
I'm going to go ahead and assume just by the preview that I watched, they're not really going to explain so much of how it works. Like of
no. I tell you what, I had a big problem with when I saw this,
Oh.
and I think I commented on the post that released the trailer, but I didn't make a big stink about it online. Was this is like, oh, this is like the purge, but it's like, oh, this is a black thing, baby. That's
oh,
what
yeah,
it looks.
very much is. Yeah,
It's just like, no, it's a black thing, baby. You know, like it just is.
Yeah, no, I mean the way that it looks is the purge was started to get rid of black people is kind of the way that they're doing it.
And it's like, we're not gonna be exterminated. It's like this very fucking god
Yeah,
damn.
it's this very like hey, let's continue to divide society.
Right. Guess what, guys? Let's say this. As far as $1 million movies, that's why you have to deal with people that are superhuman people. That's why all of the biggest blockbusters are things like Deadpool and Avengers and etc. Like all of these superhero movies. Why? Because you can suspend disbelief. Anything that has to do anything with reality, you have to integrate all of this social fucking horse shit into your fucking movie. It doesn't make any sense. It's a sidestep from reality. And like, why do that? Like, why do you have to have those elements? Guess what? People don't go to fucking movies to do that.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Yeah, no, I don't want you to. I'm so tired of people trying to sell me their fucking political bullshit.
Stop fucking shoehorning your fucking social hog shit into your entertainment value.
Yeah.
Stop. Just stop. Guess what? There's enough of that in real life. Nobody needs to have that shoehorn. And that's where Hollywood's, of course, as always, just completely full of shit, where they're going like, well, this movie's made in Southern California and we have to reflect the parlance of our times, or whatever,
Yeah.
Do we?
Well, I'm really getting tired of people fucking claiming that they're like they're going against the issue of our times, and they're not really. Like what world do you fucking live in? Like
You're trying to sell movie tickets to a fucking extended fucking viewership. That's what you're doing. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Be honest with yourselves.
Yeah, you're creating a fucking issue. You're not actually addressing one. You're making one. Yeah. It's fucking annoying.
Just because shit exists online doesn't mean that's real life, and people are trying to draw out issues, and I'm gonna say they're gonna end it would have happened by now. Let me just say this. It would have happened by now.
Yeah.
Over the past handful of years, if you were really going to draw out a lot of this online culture shit into true reality, it would have happened exponentially across the board by now. It would. You're not going to do that, okay? But what you are going to have is people that are so indulged into that landscape that try to draw it out in their day in and day out life, and it makes them look fucking retarded.
Yeah. No,
It makes them look like mentally ill, crazy people, which they are, really. If you try to draw that out, like unironically, you know what I mean? Like I make ironic comments like that in my day in and day out life, sarcastic, ironic comments, but like I'm not serious in the least bit, just because I know that happens to be the landscape. But you have these people that unironically very serious. Try to draw these issues out because why? You could be the next viral video star. You're important. You're all that matters.
Yeah.
Waiting for your moment, aren't you?
On the internet, anybody can be a star.
Cocksuckers out there, you're just fucking silently waiting by your phones and computers, waiting for your fucking moment to strike, because at any given moment, you can reach out to the entire world and be the superstar you always knew that you had it in you to be. You fucking idiots, you cocksuckers are fucking ruining life for everybody around you. Everybody. People that you don't even know. You are ruining their lives. You are the fucking scum of the earth because you are such a narcissistic cocksucker that you have to fucking invade everybody's life with your fucking hog shit trying to make a superstar out of yourself. Fuck you. Go fuck your mother. You might be more fucking applicable and predominant in that notion than you are trying to fucking bide your time until the perfect social situation arises to where I can have a viral video and I will have all of the people will share it from my personal web page and my personal Facebook page and my Twitter account, and then everybody will know who I am. You fucking idiots. You're the scum of the earth. You're the scum of the earth. You're the reason for society's modern day downfall. That's what you are.
Yeah. It's a pretty fucking regular deal, though.
I know I just fucking kind of lost my mind there for a second, but I'm telling you, that's what it is. That's 110%. I can't get any more real with you people. That's what it is. Is that you are willing to like completely let society fall apart in order for you to have your 15 minutes of fame, and it's not even like you did anything other than capture a moment from the life of somebody else. But if that catches any sort of mainstream attention, you're a superstar all of a sudden. You narcissistic cunt. Fuck your mother.
It's fucking, well, I mean, it's just this, like, selling people on fucking...
Did that matter?
On bullshit. Like, it
matter.
Like,
Nobody,
yeah.
if you capture something in your everyday life and are able to fucking put that across social media or whatever, and everybody shares it from your Facebook page or what the fuck ever, guess how long that lasts? Couple days best.
Yeah, no, I mean, go look at fucking whatever Hog, the kid that fucking was at the shooting or whatever. Yeah, I mean, he was like setting himself up to be a goddamn superstar, and
who?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the way it works, though. It's fucking hilarious.
What? Who?
Mm-hmm.
People who suffer mental illness are suffering from pain, and it's nothing to laugh at.
Nobody is concerned with their actual selves, but everybody owes them something. Go fuck yourself.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Everybody's concerned about where their life stands in their own platform of fame. And you can say what you want to about us. We just do this so we don't have to fucking go out and kill people or yell at our kids or whatever. Like that's that's our selfishness. Is that we do this show so hopefully you can go right on. Like that's all we really want. You know what I mean? Is just to have an audience of people that go right on. We will send out diplomas fucking very soon. You fucking get it.
Yeah, dude.
We're dealing with a bunch of people that fucking get it, hopefully. You know? That's all we want.
No, I mean, it's just strange. Like, I mean, it's this weird little fucking, I don't know, man. It's not even, there's, all of this shit is based in something that's not
real.
It's not real. I want to say it's not real, but it is. it is real to an extent. Like it's there, like it exists. People can, you know what I mean? You can become viral, you can do whatever, but it's this temporary little bullshit that doesn't really. I mean, look, there are people that fucking make millions of dollars off of bullshit from, on YouTube or whatever, becoming fucking viral on Instagram, but any of that kind of shit,
But once again, those people, you either have to just be delusional enough to just want your fucking 15 minutes, or
Yeah.
you have to be delusional enough to actually think that
it's going to carry. Like it's going to fucking keep going.
Or that it's a career or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically like what's happened is it's given the guy that's screaming in the middle of town square, it's given him that kind of, you get
validity.
You get that kind of recognition, but it's on the internet, so more people see it. But like you're gonna last that long. Like that's how it works.
You're still a piece of shit when the dust settles and the lights go out. What does that mean to your life? And why are you spending your life fucking reaching for the stars in that fucking facet?
Yeah, I mean,
because it's
reaching for
a lot of people, it's not about money. It's about notoriety. That's okay. Fucking, that is the biggity fucking bam of the night. For most people, it really isn't about this can set me, like, if I would say I don't agree with that personally, but if you want to say, hey, this gimmick that I have going has the potential to set me and my life and my kids and my family up for life, right?
Yeah.
Then go for it, even if it's full of shit and we're dissing it right now. I can't really hate on those people as long as they don't have any delusions of grandeur in their own mind about what it really is, right? You know, but more so, this is the name of the game for so many people, and that's the most fucked up part. Is that it ain't about fucking getting to a place financially to where you're good to go and you can live the rest of your life. If you have a 6 to year long run of something fucking crazy that everybody seems to attach themselves to, that allows you to make millions of dollars and you can live comfortably the rest of your life if you play your cards right, I'm not going to hate on those people. I'm hating on these people that, like, it ain't about the money as much as it is the notoriety. Who are these people that are so fucking insecure in their own fucking lives that they don't even care really about the money? They just want to be noticed. Fame is more important than setting your life up right financially, economically at this point. That's the part that's disturbing to me. People don't want money as much as they want their face plastered on fucking articles or news magazines or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or talked about in media and social media. People want that more than they want fucking money.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's the being recognized. That's the big fucking deal.
The fuck are you talking about? You know, like,
yeah. Well, and they don't. What's weird though is that people don't care what they're being recognized for. I think that's kind of what's strange for me.
For me, I will endure fucking 15 minutes of almost anything if you can fucking tell me that, like, I'm good and my whole family's set up for the rest of my life and I can take my fucking money. Like, I'm a whore in that aspect where I'm like, you know, whatever. Like, I don't have to fucking worry about shit from here on out, and I can live my life. You know, you say you go through 15 minutes or 30 minutes of this, that, or the other, no matter kind of pain or sexual fucking proclivities or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you could probably give me a wager, and I'll fucking take it if the money's right. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a whore in that aspect. Like, would you do this for X amount of dollars? Yes.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
The money's right. The money's right. Yes. You know.
Yeah. It's I don't know, man. I mean, I think that's the case
Why?
with
Because
most people. I think it's, but I think
I
that
get to live the rest of my life any way I want to, and I
I
don't
think
have
that
to
it's
deal
people
with shit.
chasing that ends up killing people as far as that goes. Like that ends up driving people insane. Is that there, you have so many people that are just chasing that shit as their
No,
career, as their career
but that's
goal.
people are chasing fame though, not money.
Yeah, but I mean,
Look,
that's what I'm
me,
saying
I
though. Is that's
care.
what's driving
Look,
people insane? Is doing it
that's
as their goal. Like that's what
I
their
would
goal is.
I would hope that no matter what kind of degrading thing that I said that I would do for this amount of money for this amount of minutes or whatever it is, is like, no, it's that I don't have to deal with your shit for the rest of my fucking life. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah,
I get to go,
absolutely.
I get to go, and I'm pretty much already doing that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? But I'm pretty much already doing that. But if I say, no, I don't have to deal with the struggle and the whatever, and I'm good to go. I'm good to go. You guys, and guess what? I'm saying, like, no, I don't care if nobody sees this. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, that's the other thing. It's like, how many people are gonna see? Like if you go, would you do this on film and get it a viral video for X amount of dollars? And it's like, well, how many people are gonna? Maybe for 3 million
yeah.
more
I don't
people.
give. I mean, dude, if
It's
you
like,
give me
no,
$1
no, no,
million
no. Here,
and nobody ever sees me, I'll
I
take
don't,
the million. I
I
don't
don't,
give a
I
fuck.
don't care if 50 billion people see this or 0 people see this. I am willing to do this for X amount of money, so I don't have to deal with the fucking shit of life.
Yeah,
You understand? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, fame is not in my wheelhouse. I don't give a fuck if there's notoriety for something that I do great. That is, I would love to save a puppy and a dog at the same time from a terrible mudslide. And
yeah,
I would do that whether fucking somebody was filming it or not. You understand where I'm going with this,
yeah.
man? Like,
Absolutely.
I would love to save a puppy and a baby at the same time from a mudslide and get them out of the water just soon enough before the fucking whole shit falls apart. Because, and I don't care who's filming it. Would you do that for $1 billion? Would you line yourself up with that kind of danger for X amount of millions of dollars? Yes, I would. I would probably do it for a lot less. But since you're offering,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
understand what I'm saying, dog?
Yeah,
Like, it's like, I don't care if you film or not. It's like, no, I'll just do that.
yeah. Just yeah. I don't care if nobody sees it. I just want that cash. Go ahead and give me that.
Right.
And I don't want that cash because I'm like just agreeing. Like it would be nice to never have to worry about that. But you know, fucking shit happens. We'll see how it works out.
I'm just saying, society has got their fucking priorities so goddamn far out of whack that it's
Yeah,
just
but I
let
think
us.
as a whole, society has never had its priorities together. You know what I mean? It's
There's
been
a
fucking it's been people like I mean yeah like this fucking hindsight shit of being like well they used to well not really dude as a whole fucking look
I'll
there's a
say
reason why fucking Socrates fucking years ago was saying that fucking society is bullshit. All right, like it's because society as a whole has always been bullshit. Right? It's been a minority of people that have made society
I hate this
progress.
place. Nothing works here. The medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years. Nothing works here. I hate this place.
But that's kind of the thing. Like society has always sucked, and that's just the way it is. It's not like a new thing. They just suck differently now. That's all that is. You know what I mean? It's just weird to watch it spin around. That's all.
Well, it's advancing so fast that we don't even have one generation gap before people go, wow, this is fucked up. We have a half generation gap. Like, you have people like us telling people that are not even a full generation behind us.
Well, yeah,
Going.
no, but I mean that's kind of the way it was before. I mean, think about it, dude. Our parents were saying that our generation sucked, and now we're fucking in our 30s, and we're saying that generation sucks.
Well, guess what? I can say that my kids' generation sucks, but we're not talking about my kids' generation. We're talking
Yeah,
about
you're
people.
talking about the generation right before them.
We're talking about people that are just 5 to 10 years younger than us. You know what I'm saying? That's not a whole generation gap. We're talking about people that are, but also you actually, me and Britt had this conversation just before we went live too, where I was like, you know, we were talking about these things. Like she went and bought clothes today, and she was like, you know, sometimes I like looking like a, you know, like a mom, you know, or whatever. I said, listen, there's people that are 10 to 15 years older than us that have kids that are the same age as our kids. That's mostly what you're dealing with, because all of these generation X cocksuckers had kids like, we're gonna establish our career and do this and and I didn't have my first kid until I was 32, and they're all fucking autistic and fucked up and all that stuff. And I read another whole study on that where it is like you have better looking kids. I read this study. You have better looking kids that are more able to adapt and of a better mental capacity if you have them before 30 as opposed to after 30.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, that's, you know, that's a thing.
Yeah,
I decided that, you know.
Yeah.
And Brittany's 3 years younger than what's the difference between you and Sam?
2 years. Well, I mean, kind of. I mean, like a year and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's more closer to my age than
Yeah.
actually. Yeah. But yeah, like Brittany will be 30 in a couple months.
Yeah.
You know. I'll be 33 like in a couple weeks. So like
yeah, nah, man. It
Trey.
Aging motherfucker. But it I don't know, man. I mean, I don't think. Yeah, I think I'm a little bit more optimistic, I think, than on that.
I'm just saying, but the mentality of that is a lot different. Where you have like these Gen X people that were like, "Well, I waited until we were da da da," and I'm like, you either want to have kids or you don't. So like, either have kids or don't. And if you're gonna have kids, I feel sorry for these cocksuckers. Like, man, hey, if you've got the patience to do it, good for you. If you've got the comfortability of life to do it, good for you. For me, I know I'm a fucking, you know, half white trash working stiff dude. So like I got some nice things in my life. I got some good things going on. But I know my heart, and I know that I'm half a white trash fucking working stiff. So like I'm going, no, I don't want I don't want to start having kids in my 30s. You know, I'm not gonna. No, by the time I'm 50, I want all my kids grown and the fuck out of my house.
Man, dude, if you plan on having all your fucking kids in your house after they're 20-something years old anyway, that seems fucking ridiculous. Sure. But in your I mean, if in your 30s, by the time you're 50, your kids should be out of your fucking house.
I had the option to do that. I fucking, you know, probably the last year of high school, like 17, I still lived in the house, but it wasn't a home. Like, it wasn't like anywhere like anybody, like I could have ran that home by myself. My mom and my stepdad were out of town and out of the house often enough that it was like, I might as well have been on my own. And then when I was 18, I fucking moved out. When I was 18, I fucking, that was it. Yeah. And it was like, oh, I'm out of here, you know? So it's like, and I had great things available to me, you know? It's not like it wasn't available. It was like, no, you people are fucked. I'm out of here. I'm doing my thing, you know?
Yep.
But, all right. As we roll the night through, we're gonna let's see.
Yeah,
here.
I'm gonna have to burn here. I gotta roll.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, Lee, we're at the end of the night here, but if you got just a couple minutes, sir.
Yeah, just real quick, man. It wasn't entirely my generation's fault. Okay, I had kids, four
Gen X
kids before
group.
22. All right, so
No. Yeah, we're not lumping
with them.
everybody in together, by the way, but that happens to be a thing amongst your generation, though, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I still see it.
You're a working
nowadays.
You're a working class stiff, just like the rest of us, right? Like you're not this person like was like, well, I think I'm really gonna pursue a career before. Like you have grandkids, and you're just a handful of years older than us. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I get it, but you're among the same class as us. Not I waited till 35 to have my kids because whatever.
No. I think I got grandkids at 39. Was because I had kids so young, but not everybody did that. A lot of people decide they wanted to go and make a plan for everything, and these are the ones that are starting to turn out these spoiled fucking rotten brats because You spend a good chunk of your adulthood being accountable only for yourself, and then all of a sudden you decide to bring other mouths into the world. And let me tell you something, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. A lot of these people look at their kids as just like, well, it's like some people look at their wives as trophies. Look, I accomplished something.
Look what I did. Yeah.
That's why I tell my wife all the time, where we really have this hatred for these Gen X parents that like never had kids until they were like 35 years old. And like we go to these school functions and things like that, where it's like, no, we're like Brittany's 30 in 3 months. I'm 33 in a month, or less than a month, 3 weeks from now. I'll be 33, and we go to these things and you have to mingle with these people that are in their mid 40s with kids that are the same age as our kids, and they're 15 years older than us. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, I'm just saying.
It'd be weird, I'd totally consider it weird if you and I were in the same room and we had the same age kid. I mean, dude, I'm 10 years older than you? 8 years older than you at least.
Yeah.
I mean, I was selling drugs in high school by the time you were, you're doing PE in third grade. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a whole world of experience in between the two of us. And when it comes down to it, you're going to be raising your kids differently at 43 than you are at 30. You know what I'm saying? Or even than you are at 22. I mean, shit. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. That's for damn sure.
That's right. But it's like, that's your decision to make as a person. You just go like, hey, I know that I'm going to have kids. I like having my kids. But I've always said consistently, especially on the show, to go like, I am not going to be one of these cocksuckers that fucking is going to be raising kids into my 50s. Sorry. It's not me.
Dude, you had kids. Guess what? They don't fucking go away.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't.
You're going to be doing it for pretty much the rest of your fucking life.
Everybody keeps saying that, but it's like, look.
Brother, I'm telling you, I was the hardest ass on all my kids. And every year while they were living with me, while I was still married, they got the same thing that you said a few minutes ago. When you're 18, get the fuck up out of my house. You get gone. And every time. They've gone, and then they come back, and you can't say no because it's your kids. And fucking believe me, you miss them a hell of a lot more when they're gone.
But you also have that camaraderie. I think, like, for me, the day in and day out, like motherfucker, like, how much more where it's like, look, I don't mind paying for the fucking cereal, but goddamn, if you're 18 and I'm gonna fucking wake up and make you a bowl of cereal, you understand?
No. That don't fucking happen.
That's my big hang up, where it's like, man, look, I'll help you out, You know what I mean? Like staying around is not as
Well,
big
you
of
know, me and my son and daughters share a house here, and so sometimes on the weekends, I'll still play dad and get up in the morning, and it pisses them off nowadays because they all want to sleep in, but dad will get up and make coffee and
Right.
breakfast, a 5-course breakfast, and they'll still wake up and eat it. but
that and I know you wouldn't do it unless that was like fun for you, where you're like, hey man, I'm gonna get up and fucking make my kids breakfast this weekend morning, whatever. So it's like that's your initiative to have that fun for you. And I know, like, even though if your kids don't want to wake up at whatever hour, they're adults. You're an adult, and everybody enjoys the sentiment there. You know what I mean? So
it took, you know how long that took?
I'm just saying, I am way more fine with that than having to go through the day in and day out struggle, fucking ballet and fucking baseball and fucking school functions and all that.
I know. I did it with 4 of them in school at the same time, brother.
Dude, that
2
shit,
girls and 2 boys, double time it on both ends.
all that shit is for the fucking birds, bro. But
oh man, it was amazing that I made it through most of those baseball games because, man, I had to slip off with some of the other coaches and drink because they all had multiple kids in the same games, and we're going around to different games and trying to do stuff, dude.
You're listening earlier, but we've got Valley Radio, and I think next time we're gonna have Stepmom Radio, and we all have our mimosas and our Yeti cups for our.
Now be careful because Stepmom Radio could end up on Pornhub.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm telling you, I'm making a bit out of this for sure.
Isn't that like the newest thing on porn channels? I looked at a porn channel the other day, and it's like all this stuff about banging your stepmom and banging your mother and your sister, and I'm like, what is this?
I'm telling you, we all have our Yeti cups, and we're ready at 11 a.m. started, and we have our mimosas in our Yeti cups, and you would never know the difference. But so that's the next angle. We're just going to generate up Valley.
I'm glad I missed that one. Just so you guys know, I'm glad I missed that. But I came into the show at the second hour, man. I was at my girlfriend's dog had surgery today, and so we were dealing with that. He had all sorts of 3 blockages in his intestines, and his intestines, when they opened them up, were actually turning black. So yeah, it was from being cut off. It was pretty serious, but he's made it through the surgery. He's going to be groggy for the next couple of days, and hopefully he's still a young pup. He's still only 7. So
tell that goddamn dog to stop eating fucking rocks and rotten cabbage. Then I guess, man.
Whatever the hell he got into, he's always well taken care of. He just ate something apparently.
Well, by the way, final plugs, the Lost Tapes, the first hour of the Friday Night Super Show, and the most excellent Lost Tapes, that's what I'm calling it, that me, Dennis, and Lee had after we kind of dismantled the Friday Night Super Show and then just kind of did this thing after everybody was able to get their shit together, technologically speaking. Ended up being very funny and very good, and that is up now for replays on JRev Radio. So that is up and running at the moment, and me and Zach will see you guys Wednesday. Zach,
and I'll be back with Trip Nasty and everybody and Dennis on Friday too. So
for sure. All right.
That it
Cheers,
for your
boys.
Head,
great show.
All right.
Take care, brother.
You just give me this chrome dome. Looking down at your phone, give me this chrome dome look. Like.
Oh, I'm actually not looking at my phone. I was actually
Michael Stipe's head.
He's playing with himself, man. Will you let every man's got to check for testicular cancer now and then, right? I mean, usually you check it out in the shower.
I smashed my finger the other day, and so my fingernail was split, and I'm trying to rip the other side off of it. And
you got to get the needle nose.
I I've,
You got
I've
black
actually.
McGillicuddy, don't you? Don't lie
it's
like
not,
you.
no, I don't got black nail. I just got a big crack down the middle of that motherfucker, and so the end of it's like splitting off. It keeps getting caught on shit. You know what I mean?
Like I said, pray for
Okay.
fucking Zach's nail.
I'm
And
gonna, I'm
Neil-
gonna make it. Yeah, I'll make it. I'll be fine.
one donation equals $1.
Yeah.
Thoughts and
Yeah. I
prayers.
mean, it could equal more, motherfuckers. You know.
Lee's got it going on right there. Fucking dollar bills, y'all. Cream, get the
All
money.
right,
It's
fellas, I
amazing
gotta
that I
run,
have that.
man.
All right,
All right.
motherfuckers,
So
we're
do
out of
I.
here. Peace out. Catch you
Deuce.
guys. later.